And the design treatment for this magazine requires lots of lines. So I'm going to turn on the W key to reveal the grids and guides. And then we have a series of, well, numerous turquoise guidelines in here that we're going to use to run our lines along. I'm going to lock the text layer in the layers panel and then left click on the images layer because that's where they need to be stored. I'll go across to my line tool and then go up to the control panel up at the top. Do just make sure that the fill is set to none because it's a line. There's no fill inside of it. It's just a stroke, a line. And then for the actual stroke itself, make sure that's set to black and then hit return. In terms of the thickness, well, this is going to be set to 1 point to start off with. I'm then going to hover my cursor over the center line where the spine is. Click and hold down the mouse, keep it held down and drag towards the left-hand side. I'll then hold down the shift key and that will constrain it to a perfectly horizontal axis. I'm going to drag right out to the red bleed line, then let go of the mouse and then the shift key. That of course creates our line. I'll switch to my selection tool and then I'm going to hover over that line, hold down the Alt key, Alt click and drag to the right hand side and then hold down the shift key and I can position that so that it snaps into place in a mirrored version to the first one. When I click away and press the W key, you might think, well, surely it would have been easier to just create one line running across both pages. It would, absolutely. But it is always best if you can to try and stop your content running across 2 pages. If you've got a container or a line, divide it, because if you need to change the page order and you have content running across both pages, it's going to cause you a lot of layout headaches to deal with. Now we need to create a similar effect down at the bottom, so I'm going to click and drag across both of those lines to select them. I'll press the W key to reveal grids and guides, hold down the Alt key to reveal the duplicate symbol, hover over the line, click and drag downwards, and again hold down not only the Alt key but the Shift key, and that will constrain it to a vertical axis. Now I'm going to drag it down to the lower of those turquoise lines, let go of the mouse and then let go of the Alt and the Shift key. Now whilst they're selected, I need to change the thickness of the stroke. So you'll notice that it goes 0 point, of course, would make this completely invisible. 0.25, we need to change this to 0.3. So swipe over the value and type it in because there isn't a preset for that. And then click away. Press the W key, and there we go. We've got our top and our bottom lines in here. I'm next going to follow the same process to create further lines. These are going to be vertical lines, but now that we've had a go at drawing a line and duplicating it, I think we get the idea of how that works. So I'm going to speed up the video a little bit, and then I will just recap the lines that I've added afterwards. So if I just recenter this now by fit spreading window, you'll see that all the lines in this layout, besides the one at the top, use a 0.3 line weight. Just to make sure that is the case, the only thing that is actually selectable in this layout are actually the lines. So if I hover my cursor just here and then click and drag, I can grab everything on this page, which is just the lines. They're the only things that are selectable. And also making sure that I just select that line here and then just make sure that if it does read 0.3, then they are all set to 0.3, which is good. And then I can go to Edit, Select All, and then choose Object, Arrange, Send to Back, because they do need to be positioned behind the photographs in some cases. You'll notice here that I've made a slight mistake, and this line is too long. It should finish where the text finishes. So if I press the W key, you can click on a line, hover over the end, which is the anchor point. And in my case, the arrow's pointing up and down, so I could just click and drag, and it won't move left and right, but you can change the length of the line by doing that. I'll set the view back to fit spreading window, and then turn off the grids and guides by pressing W. This was before, and this is with the lines added.